I'd like to call the meeting to order. Everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call the February 18th, 2025 Board of Public Affairs meetings to order. John, would you please do roll call?
I will. Annette Schreiner,
Here.
Bob Eyre,
Yes.
Jim Salsbury,
Here.
Dick Long, and Karen Ford.
Here.
Mr. Long is absent.
Yep, thank you. First on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the February 4th, 2025 meeting. Everyone has been presented with a copy of the minutes. Are there any corrections to the way they are written? If not, may I please have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Jim,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
and Bob.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the hearing of public concerns. Anyone present like to come to the podium? Seeing none. Next on the agenda is to approve the Clerk-Treasurer's Report dated January 31st of 2025. John?
Yes, I remember to bring it this month. So, the board has seen the monthly financials and bank reconciliation and all the associated financial documents go along with that for the month ended January 31st. And I am available now and anytime for if you have any questions regarding that. That's all.
Thank you. I like this new format.
Good.
Yeah. May I have a motion to approve the Clerk-Treasurer's Report for January 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Jim,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
and Bob.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 5, 2025, authorizing the Director of Utilities to advertise for bids for the Bryan Municipal Utilities new electric warehouse.
Derek?
Yeah, so approved in the 2024 budget was the engineering services for the design and bid of the warehouse. BioHart's Architects completed that. And also included in the 2025 budget is $1.4 million for the construction of the new warehouse. Just some key design elements. It's a warehouse measuring 120 by 100 foot, 18-foot eaves. And it's intended to provide additional space for equipment and materials in a controlled environment. There is a 13-foot corridor that would link the existing warehouse to the new one for foot traffic or a forklift. This also would include new overhead and man doors, the necessary utilities, power, water, heat, and sewer. And then it will also be offset 20 feet from the current building to avoid some of the costly fire code requirements. We would plan to bid this warehouse February 27th and March 13th, and we would schedule a bid opening for April 3rd at noon here in the Board of Public Affairs boardroom. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. I know Al went over some of this in detail during the 2025 budget presentations as well. So if there aren't any questions, I respectfully request approval to advertise for bids for the new electric warehouse.
I just have a quick question. Is it going to, the corridor you mentioned, is that going to be in a enclosed corridor or just like a?
It'll be enclosed.
Okay.
So it'll sit to the west of the existing?
Correct. Yep. And the corridor would be on the south side.
I'm sure the warehouse they have now is more than filled up, because I remember how it was when I left. And I'm sure it hasn't emptied out at all.
Anybody have any more questions or comments about resolution number 5?
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has.
I'm glad to pass them.
I'll
May I
second.
have a motion?
Oh, did you second? Did you make a motion?
No, but I will.
Okay.
I'd like to authorize the Director of Utilities to advertise for bids for the municipal utilities New electric warehouse.
And I'll second.
Karen,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
and Bob.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is another resolution. John, will you please number and read?
Resolution number 6, 2025, authorizing the city engineer of the City of Bryan, Ohio, to apply for grants through the community project funding sources for the City of Bryan and Bryan municipal utilities as necessary.
So again, this would authorize the city engineer to submit a grant for a water line and pavement replacement project. This would be on South Portland Street between Center and West South Street. It'd be approximately 2,400 feet of water line. That would include pavement repairs and a full asphalt overlay. The city engineering department does expect South Portland Street will need to be repaved soon. It's always a benefit if we can put new water line in if it's needed before they pave. These applications are due in March. We estimate to submit a project around $1 million. And we also believe local match funding to be 10 to 20%, but those details will kind of evolve through the application process. And this community funding project grant doesn't rely on income levels, so it might be one of the few opportunities to apply for a grant in this area. So we respectfully request the city engineer be authorized to submit a grant application.
Questions, comments?
Mr. Whelan seems to be pretty good at such things.
Mayor does too.
Yeah.
Thanks to the mayor and Brian both for.
There you go.
We'll
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Yeah. Mayor caught this one.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 6?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Bob,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
and Karen.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is to effect semi-monthly disbursements, pay the bills.
Before you have a motion, I just want to note that the copy that you got in your board packet, there was an error at the top. A bill for Annexter was omitted. So the copy you have here to sign tonight has that correction made.
Okay. May I have a motion to pay the bills, please?
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills.
I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
and Karen.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is comments from BPA and staff. Derek?
I don't have anything.
Okay, Mary.
That
Mayor.
all, I know it all goes together. I have nothing to add, thank you.
John?
Same.
Tricia? I think John's back there.
Yeah, since, I normally don't, but since there was a comment made at council yesterday that you may not have heard, I want you to hear it. Tyson came up and said that he was very thankful for Derek and BMU for helping out, I think it was Sunday. Doesn't matter when the snow was coming down, because he had 3 people, 2 were ill, 1 on a planned vacation. There was no way they were going to get the streets done in a timely way. He called Derek, 2 gentlemen. I'm sure Derek knows who they are, and he can say their names. I cannot remember, and I am sorry. But I am not sorry that they helped out as a citizen of Bryan, more so than a member of city council, because it sounded like that. This is not, as everyone can understand, this is at 2 and 3 in the morning. So I want to personally thank BPA, BMU, and the 2 gentlemen.
Yeah, so Rocky and Gus both helped
Okay.
Friday and Sunday, I believe,
And Thursday.
and Thursday.
Joe, anything? Brian?
Good, thanks.
Karen?
Thank you, John, for letting us know, and those boys were from the water department.
Yeah.
They know their stuff. That's all I have to say.
My comment comes in the form of a concern and a request. My concern is AMI and the progress of AMI. And not to point any fingers at anybody, I know the perfect time would have been a few weeks back when the superintendents were doing their presentation. And of course, I sat here, I guess like everybody else, and didn't say anything. I wish I had. But my request would be is that if we could be, or if I could be, furnished a monthly of the progress on that. I really think, I think the time's of the essence. We've got a lot of money invested in this, and it's been going on for quite a while. I think we need to know where we're at. And I would request that.
No, we can absolutely do that, Jim, and I think I've had conversations with both Jimmy and John as well. We're all on the same page. We're
Okay.
maybe not quite as far along as we had hoped to be.
Yeah.
There's been certainly challenges throughout, but.
Oh, I'm sure there have, and I understand that, and I'm not pointing fingers, trust me, I'm not. I'm just concerned, and I know you and I have talked about it from time to time, and I just said, I'd like to know what's going on.
I think we've got a pretty good plan here as soon as it warms up just a
Okay.
little bit.
Yeah, I know it's not perfect weather.
We can certainly provide you with
Okay.
monthly.
Thank you very much, that's all I have.
Thank you, Jim. Bob?
Yeah, on the February 13th, in the Bryan Times, I mentioned a notice of a Toledo Edison doing some upgrade to their transmission system. And it looks like about 16 towers that they were looking between Defiance and Stryker. It looked to me like that's a pretty major project for them to do something like that. I know that's outside of our, but is there anything there that, something that you would be open to listening or concerned with, or?
I guess I'm not exactly sure what the scope of this project
Okay.
is. I know the electric department here recently worked with First Energy on some polls, but I have to follow up with them.
Yeah, it's something I read in the Bryan Times. I think it's a public notice.
Okay, probably.
Yeah, and it's probably something that's required by the state of Ohio. Like I said before, it just seemed like it was going through Paul Sound, Defiance, and Stryker. And I think they're doing 16 tower regrades or grades and things like that. So, just curiosity. That does matter. So, no comments.
Other than that, okay. I really don't have anything other to add other than thank you to the gentleman that helped out on the snow on last minute notice. So with that said, we are going to take a brief recess, and we will be going into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, and discipline, promotion or compensation of a public employee or official, and I would like to have the BPA members, Derek, Mayor Schlade, John, Tricia, and Joe Farrell, to stay for the executive session, please.